Hey folks, welcome back. So this is going to be kind of a strange video I'm making because I'm always talking about my builds, or I'm talking about what my subscribers or followers have asked me to answer. If you're new to my channel and you don't know who I am Dag, and I've been flying radio control aircraft since about 1979. And the last 15 years I've had an obsession with building giant scale airplanes, and basically over 150 inches, which I call ginormous scale airplanes. And this video is going to be about my mission, why I have my YouTube, and what I'm trying to do with it, and what I'm trying to do for you all. So as I said, I'm obsessed with giant scale aircraft, and if I'm going to design and build it, and I do it in CAD and 2D and 3D, it's got to be more than 150 inches. And the reason I've done a video on why I like giant scale, but the biggest reason is they're easier to fly, they look really beautiful in the air, and they're easier to build. I mean, you can get your hands into the airplane. But what comes with it is a huge expense, okay? So let's talk about real briefly what my mission is. It's to share my builds. It originated from me being on RC groups a long time ago, and somebody says, you've got to start a YouTube channel and start showing videos of your builds. And you just do some really interesting stuff, your techniques on the way you build, the way that you design some of your own systems. You've got to get that out on video that people could watch. So I put my videos normally here on YouTube, but I also put them on my Facebook and my LinkedIn. Okay, and it depends, because I try to keep my professional life and my hobby, which is aviation life, kind of separate. I want to share my success so you can see it. One of the pet peeves I've got about YouTube is a lot of times people will give you recommendations on doing things, but they've never done it themselves, and then you fail, which is a waste of time and money. I also want to share my failures. So if I'm designing something that doesn't quite work, you might look at that and go, holy crap, I was going to do that. And I'm glad that I saw Dag do it, because I see that won't work. I also just want to have fun. Okay, if you're a longtime follower, I have kind of an interesting personality. I tend to never want to put people down. I tend to try to always be positive, but I always try to share what's going to be successful. And normally anytime you're really successful at anything, you're going to get haters. And, I've learned to handle that. But then I get emails from people, especially young kids, saying, how do you handle the haters? Because for me, it's really horrible. And that's sad. I want to have fun on my YouTube channel. Okay, I want to talk about how we can get everybody involved in model aviation. Okay. And like I said, I love to answer questions. I probably get 10 or 15 questions a month about why I did this with my model airplane, or why does an airplane fly like this with this type of wing. I'm not saying I'm an expert at everything, but to design these giant scale airframes and have such success, I've got to be doing something right, okay? And then the last thing here is I want YouTube to pay for my hobby. Okay, and that's probably one of the biggest reasons I do my YouTube today. Is I love sharing my success, I love everything else, but I'm actually starting to make a little bit of money. Okay, so when you think about these projects I do, some of them take 5 and 6 years, they get 99% done, and then somebody offers me a ginormous amount of money, and I have no other choice but to sell it, because I am not rich, I am not wealthy. And I know that's a relative word. Compared to a homeless person, I'm probably Elon Musk. Compared to Elon Musk, I'm probably almost a homeless person. Okay? So the thing is that I've got a daughter going to college. I've got all the other stresses in life, mortgages and surgery on dogs and stuff like that. And when I run out of money, the hobby would just have to go idle. Well, I'm starting to learn how to pay for my hobby from my YouTube, my Patreon, and a couple of sponsorships I have. What couldn't be cooler than that? To sell the B-36 and then to sell the C-130 because I ran out of money was heartbreaking. And I know a lot of you fans watching wanted to see those fly. But I can't take what I call my real life money and spend $2,000 or $3,000 a year on it. It just doesn't make sense. Plus, it's not a great way to keep my wife happy. So I started thinking, what am I going to do with all my future projects I want to build? You know, I got the Mosquito I want to build. I've got the T28. I've got my big A7 I want to build. Then I look at my past projects, and I've gotten a pretty good idea how much they cost. So I started to experiment, and 96%-ish of you on one of my videos love what I did. Some people didn't. So I decided to start, because I do a lot of 3D work, I decided to start throwing some characters into the thumbnails of my videos. And by putting a girl in a cheerleading outfit, got me a boatload more views than if I was doing just a regular thumbnail like this, where, you know, I was talking, you know, about, you know, some other thing I was answering. Okay. So, you know, essentially, you know, when you think of, like, this video was about the RC checklist 2.0. What kind of checklist should you have on your airplane? Okay. This video was, you know, how strong is strong enough? You know, I love to build light. You know, my big MSL2, that yellow airplane there, almost a 16-foot wingspan, only weighs 61 pounds. But a video like this would get virtually no views. And actually, this video had a lot of great information. So you don't understand, even though I'm not making money like a big rock star would off my YouTube, to make $125, $150 a month starts to add up. So this video right here, I actually had somebody say, why in the hell would you have a naked woman tied to radio control airplanes? Well, first of all, she's not naked, okay, or naked, or however you want to say it in the country. She's wearing a bathing suit, okay? And then I got accused of, why would you talk about young children at the end and have a girl naked on your video? And I'm like, look, I always, in my videos, by begging you to get kids 6 years old or any youth involved in model aviation. But this is called marketing and advertising, people, okay? So what I want to show you here is that one video in 2 months got me over 300 subscribers and made me made me almost $90. Now, some people say, well, it's clickbait. If you don't know what clickbait is, it's when you've got a thumbnail that is getting people just to go to the video to make money. And clickbait is a real thing. I mean, a lot of people do it, but they do it in a way that once you click on the video, there's nothing there. I mean, they'll show like an airplane crashing into a mountain. Then you watch the video and there's no airplane crashing into the mountain. That's clickbait. They baited you into that and there's nothing there. You know, when I have a girl holding a sign that is describing what the exact video is, that's not clickbait. Okay? So I am trying to make enough money with my YouTube, and I can't help it that some of you out there that don't understand what a 3D girl in a bathing suit looks like. If all you see is a naked woman there, then, you know, that's your problem. You know, and I always try to, if you follow me on Facebook, I put just about 99% of my aviation builds there as pictures, not videos. And I have two rules in my life. I never talk about religion, and I never talk about politics. I have had Facebook followers leave me because I'm very, very, I shout out that I will never talk about politics or religion in any of my social media. And that upsets some people. And these are the people that are obsessed, spending the entire day on social media, reposting everything about religion and politics, thinking they're going to really change somebody's mind. That's such a waste of time to me. To me, I want to share with you my builds, my aviation life, and everything I do that's cool. So I know I can't make everybody happy, and I'm going to describe a little bit more about that in a minute. So when we say, I always like to keep a little spreadsheet of what people's comments are when they give me negative or positive feedback. A lot of people want longer videos, And that blows my mind because some of my videos go almost 40 minutes long. Other people say, oh, I want short videos. And this is just another part of the chaotic world. So I decided to do Dag's 2-minute videos. I used a little artificial intelligent voice of a British girl. And then somebody posted, I would never join your Patreon with this type of content. And I can't fix that. Because if they would have ever watched the video about my Patreon is for something completely different. And I'll share my Patreon in a minute with you. Some people want me to do deeper videos. You know, I've had people refer to me as that they like me like Richard Feynman. To me, Richard Feynman is the god of lecturing. For anybody to ever say that I'm their Richard Feynman, I can't even begin to comprehend that. To me, Richard Feynman is a god, okay? And me, I'm just Dag, the model aviation guy that likes to do videos. 95.4% of the people love the babes in my videos, the 3D girls in bathing suits. I have gotten so many people saying, we love this part of your personality, Dag. Keep doing it. It's fun. You're probably blowing up people's minds, but go for it. And then 4.6% don't like babes. So what I decided to do is I might get some men in bathing suits all oiled up with big muscles. And maybe that's what will float your boat, is seeing a whole bunch of, weightlifting men all oiled up. So who knows what's going to float your boat. But I want to show you some facts here. So here are some views and the money generated on some of my videos. Now keep in mind, if 1 month I can make $125 or $150 off YouTube, that's over $1,000 a year. And in a minute I'll show you about what I'm able to make a year, which means I won't have to sell any more airplanes, folks. It means that my future, I can afford to keep going forward with my hobby. I've never wanted, people want to send me money. I won't take money from people unless I feel like I'm giving them a service. Okay, and that's the reason I built my Patreon. But if you look at this video right here, let me make this full screen for you for a minute. Whoops, that didn't work. So, hang on a minute. There we go. So, full screen is top left-hand corner. I got my girl I named Lisa. Got 2,312 views. I believe that was within 1 month, so that's $4. Everybody's like, well, that ain't much. On the top right-hand corner, in the same amount of time, I made 98 cents. Okay, 399 views versus 2,300. On the bottom left-hand corner, I got 2,192 views, $4.70. That's not bad. There's babes on it. The bottom right-hand corner, I got 35,226 views in like 50-some days. So that 89 or $90, now we're starting to talk about making a little bit of money here, okay? So when we think about my Patreon, and let me get my buttons working right. So I used to have a website, and on that website I shared all my designs for free. All my CAD drawings of the B-36, the C-130, the Mosquito, the T-28, all of that was shared on my website. Then a friend of mine said, hey Damon, there's this guy in France that's selling your drawings. And I went to the guy's website and they were my drawings. And I got it all shut down and I got it stopped. But it blew my mind anybody to be that much of a piece of crap. So I thought, how in the world am I going to be able to control who I know has downloaded it? Now, sure, they could download a drawing or one of my STLs or 3Ds or Fusion 360s and they could go off and sell it, the design. I get it. But I thought, why not? Well, and I got to be honest, it wasn't really my idea to do the Patreon. I was talking to one of my friends. They said, we'll start a Patreon. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to just take people's money. They go, Damon, you have so many designs you're giving away for $5. What are you talking about? So I created my Patreon, and I created 3 different layers. Basically, for $5, folks, you can get any of my designs. But that has nothing to do with my YouTube content. When that one person said, oh, I would never join your Patreon because it's not worth it because of the content on your YouTube, I don't know what they were smoking. Because the fact is, my Patreon is there for you to get all of my thousands of hours of designs. I mean, I've had some people say, Damon, why aren't you selling your drawings for $50 and $75 a pop? I'm not like that, okay? And plus, my drawings aren't like a Nick Zeroli type drawings. They're drawings that I use to build my airplane from. But my Patreon was designed for that. So let's talk about how much money do I really make for my hobby. Now, keep in mind, folks, I build ginormous airplanes. I've got a trailer. I've got a gas-guzzling Suburban. When I go to Ceph, a fly-in, it costs me $2,000 that week, basically. When I look at the gas, when I look at some of the hotels, when I look at some of the ancillary things, I always budget $2,000. Now, this year, I only spent about $1,200 because some pals let me stay in this luxury camper with them, which was living the, we were living the high life. But normally I budget $2,000 a year just to go to a fly-in. Okay, $2,000 just to spend on a fly-in is not the kind of money I would normally have. So let's look at this and break it down. Now, this is not exact. This is a ballpark or a snapshot. YouTube, at the most, I made I've made about $175 a month at the most. The lowest I make is about $80 a month. So I just threw in, if I did $150 a year on $150 a month on YouTube, my Patreon brings in about $135. An awful lot of people join my Patreon just so that they can download my stuff and then they quit. And that's fine with me, but I know who they were. And then I got sponsorships, and I make between $45 and sometimes $100 a month off the sponsorships. But when you really think about overall, what does this mean? Essentially, I'm making, I had my notes written down here. Sorry about this, folks. Basically, I'm making about $3,600 a year. After taxes, that's $2,340. Now, $2,340 would only pay to go to a fly-in, because that fly-in I put $2,000 budget against. So I need to make $4,000 or $5,000 a year to pay for my hobby, folks. So that's the reason I'm doing the type of stuff I do with my YouTube, my Patreon, and my sponsorships. So that's kind of it, everybody. I just want everybody to understand that I can't make every one of you happy, and by no means do I want to try to make everybody happy. I'm going to do my own thing. But I do read every comment. And I do read, especially the younger kids, and some of the emails and stuff I get about the bullying. I will always be, I want to be a superhero, okay? I want to go around to all of you steaming piles of turds that tell the kids they can't fly FPV, they tell the kids they can't fly quads. I've been around long enough. I remember when everybody hated helicopters, they hated gliders. I get that you are broken and you're going to hate people no matter what. I get it. But my channel is to share my success, and my channel is to pay for my hobby. Because I have still 5 or 6 airframes I want to build over the next 20 years before I die. And it's not cheap. It's not cheap. So if I start throwing babes onto my YouTube to attract some views, even though I got great content, you're going to have to live with it. But please, understand the difference between a woman who's fully nude and a woman wearing a bathing suit. My guess is you're not going to the beach very much, or you're not going to the local pool very much. Or you're not driving by, I'm trying to think of all the places that I've seen women that you would describe as nude. So I'm sorry to laugh. I don't try to laugh at people, but for God's sakes, people, lighten up. So look, that's this video, everybody. If you haven't liked and subscribed, and I think I've probably popped up a couple of my gals begging you to like and subscribe while I've been doing this video. But look, people, I am here to have fun. I am here to share all of my success. I'm here to share my designs. I'm here to try to make other people successful. And that's the only reason I do my YouTube, is to have fun and try to make some money to pay for the hobby. Yeah, that's it, everybody. So look, please, I'm going to end this video like I do every video. Please get a kid into RC. Okay, and I'm dead serious here. When kids get into, I shouldn't say RC, get them into model aviation. It could be free flight, it could be gliders, it could be rubber powered. Once you spark that little bit of interest in a kid's head, and that kid starts to be creative, wants to build their own airframe or build their own rubber-powered airplane or rockets. Rockets are cool. Model boats are cool. Get them into anything except spending all their time on a video game. Now, I know as adults, some people like to play role-playing games, and I think that's cool. If that's your hobby, you know, people have golf, people like to go to strip joints, people like to fly RC, people like to have bass boats. I understand everybody's got their hobbies, okay? But as kids, when our brains are developing, it's better to develop an engineer or a scientist or a thinker than to develop somebody who just has the dexterity to drive a 68 Camaro down through the streets of LA running over people and killing them. Okay? I don't want to go into all the science behind it because I've read a lot of it, but when a kid's between 6 and 9 and you get them around anything creative, it really it helps them be better in school, it helps them be better socially, it just helps them in so many other ways. And one of the crazy things is that when they develop socially, they understand how to deal with dickheads when they get older. They don't get so offended. They're not so sensitive to things. Because you go to most radio control airfields in the country, everybody there is pretty cool. I should say really cool. But there are a few model airfields you go to or clubs you go to, excuse me, where you've got that Debbie Downer or that dickhead. You know, Dilbert the dickhead. And basically, these are the people that run off the youth in model aviation. I've gotten 2 or 3 emails already from a dad and a son that got all excited, got some FPV gear, and got the AMA, and we're going to follow all the rules. Went to a club, and they said, you can't fly here. Shame on them. I mean, we've got to get kids involved in being creative. So rock on, everybody. I'll see you next time. Be safe. And if you're offended by me having these girls, I'm trying to come up with a name of them. I don't want to call them fly girls. That's been used. I don't want to call them Dags gals because it sounds like I own them. But whatever the name of these gals are, if that offends you, you don't have to watch my video. Flat, plain and simple. I rarely give a thumbs down on any of my the people I go out and follow because if it's not a great video, so what? I hardly ever, I'm never negative like that. But here's the cool thing is when you think of all the likes versus the dislikes, I'm always in that 94 to 96% likes on any video that has one of the gals in it. All my other videos are at 100%. And to have a YouTube channel where all your likes are 100%, I'm pretty proud of that. I think it's kick-ass. See you next time, everybody. Rock on, be safe. Bye.